the Suns.
I'm Kevin Zimmerman. This is Kellen Olson. We are the Empire of the Suns writers, podcasters, and editors at ArizonaSports.com. We can make the assumption that DeAndre Ayton's going to be the top pick for the Suns. I don't think many people would disagree with that. But number 16, that's going to be interesting for the Suns. They could trade up, they could trade down, they could stay there. For trade-up opportunities, where do you see them potentially having an opportunity to do so?
Feels like the top six is kind of out of reach in terms of how much they want to give up. Now, the thing about it is if they are so enamored, like say they think Trae Young or Mikal Bridges or whatever is the top 3 or top 4 prospect in this draft, and they don't think they're going to get beyond 7 or 8, and they absolutely want them, I guess they could offer 4 first-round picks. Not the smartest thing to do, though, so I probably can lean against that, but I like the 8 to 11 to 12 range seems the most realistic. Cleveland, will they want to let go of their pick, though? New York, and that's the question always with trading up, is that the biggest story, of course, a couple years ago, Justice Winslow was on the board. Danny Ainge offered 4 first-round picks to try and move up for him, and the Heat turned it down, said, no, we're taking Justice Winslow. So sometimes teams just won't let you trade up, and that's the battle for the Suns. But I think the most interesting thing leading into the draft right now, Kevin, especially in the past couple of days, we're getting the sense that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the point guard out of Kentucky, looks like a near lock to go in the top 11, while Trae Young out of Oklahoma might actually fall out of the top 10.
Which one of those guys do you think is a more realistic option? I mean, Trae Young had that amazing season at Oklahoma. He has his question marks, isn't as explosive as you would want off the bounce defensively. He would not be a great fit alongside Devin Booker, but offensively he's really good. He has unlimited range, great passing, and then Shai, kind of a completely different guy where he's all defense, length, just a great floor general. But what do you see as far as the Suns fit and what's realistic, I guess?
I think at that point, you still just have to take who you think the best point guard is. I think Trae, the thing about him is you're capping your defensive ceiling to a certain point by playing him next to Devin Booker. And that's not even discussing DeAndre Ayton. Now, he has a lot of upside defensively, but he could be not so great there. And with him and Trae defending the point of attack the most out of anyone by default because he's a point guard, and Ayton being your primary rim protector, that could cause some issues. At the same time, Young is an elite shooter. He's an elite passer. And those are 2 things the Suns don't have right now. I guess Devin Booker could be an elite shooter if anyone could set him up for something right now. Trae Young could set him up for that, so you could have 2 elite shooters and a terrific passer. Young obviously has his red flags and concerns, but I lean towards him. Shai just kind of seems like the more Ryan McDonough pick in the sense that it would take a little bit. You would have to wait a while, kind of like Dragan Bender or Marquise Chris. Doesn't seem like the Suns want to wait around that much. And yes, he could contribute with defense, but I think Trae is the guy to target if there's one of the 2.
Now later, closer to the Suns in that lottery, like say 11, 12, 13, there's some tradable teams that want to trade. There are players that aren't exactly the fit. If Shai falls into that range, obviously the Suns would love to maybe just trade up a few spots for him. Who else besides him? There's the Bridges, Kevin Knox. Who among those do you think the Suns would actually think about grabbing just a few spots up?
Lonnie Walker's kind of interesting because he didn't shoot it that well in Miami, but there was a lot of different circumstances that led to him having a poor year. Coming back from a serious knee injury, his role was kind of all over the place. Other teammates were getting hurt, and his role went from not that important to being the guy for them at some points. Looks like a guy, 6'4", 6'10" wingspan, that can be your prototypical 2 guard. He only shot at 34% from 3, so that's where you kind of look at him and say, is he going to be that shooter? But I think from what the Suns want, he seems like the guy that's going to be in that range. It seems like Shai was the guy we were talking about for months that seemed like the guy in this range. But the buzz we're hearing right now, Toronto has reportedly said, like, our whole roster is available. We're willing to move up to get this kid. So if teams are feeling that way, and it sounds like Cleveland could be that team as well, it doesn't seem like he's a possibility.
We're going to be waiting for a few more hours across the next few days about that Ayton pick that we assume is coming, but number 16 definitely is going to be where we have no idea, I don't think, really what's going to happen. That's Kellen Olson. I'm Kevin Zimmerman. Thanks for listening.
98.7 FM, Arizona's sports station.